Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast where we have a political debate, and Riley is currently on the side of the Nazis. Could you explain why you believe that, Riley?
I, I don't know, man. They have cool uniforms. that's why I side with them. How can you rebuttal that? They got cool ass uniforms.
I'm gonna let you hang yourself here.
But listen, I'm not saying anything about their political stances or anything like that. They just got cool uniforms. There's a reason why Nazis appear so often as like zombies or just like other villains in media. It's because Nazi uniforms look cool.
You want to you want to try and get out of this hole while you still can, or do
There's
you want to keep
no
digging?
hole. I don't like Nazis. I just think their uniforms are cool.
Guys,
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like you're being very, very defensive. Is
so
this your way of ending your career?
Hey guys, it's me, Riley. Thank you for listening to Detour Ahead. with me is Colo Chew and Ida. I hate them both.
I don't understand why.
Oh, what reason have you given me in the past 2 minutes to dislike you? I can't think of any. All right, so Ida. Now, so as I'm sure some listeners know, if you've been paying attention, we invite guests on and we let them pick the topic. Now, Ida, when she was picking this topic, I think she may have forgotten that all of her online friends and all of her online friends who she hasn't met are all completely dumb mouth breathers compared to her. So I don't think she took that into consideration when she picked this topic. So
Well,
Ida, you want to tell us what the topic is?
looking into evolutionary biology. Did
Okay,
This is
sure.
the education part.
Yeah, we're learning today, boys.
Oh, I mean, last week wasn't that bad. Last week didn't really have that many detours. We didn't get distracted at
There
all.
weren't that
Like
many
last
detours
week was
ahead.
very, very on track. I think it's last week was the first episode where we were super on track with like very minimal distractions.
All right,
Fair.
so we're talking about evolutionary biology, and there's a few specific things that I thought to bring up. So, do you guys know about how whales evolved?
No, tell us, Ida.
Okay, I want you, the viewers, might want to do this too, but look up whale evolution and just click the first Wikipedia.
All right.
Hey, so you all know how like whales and dolphins and the entire I think its genus are all mammals, right?
Wait, the first Wikipedia article specifically?
Yeah, you know how like
Evolution of cetaceans? How
yeah,
is that word pronounced?
it's cetaceans.
Cetaceans. Okay, I got it right.
But basically they came from this little dog rat thing.
What
And like
the fuck? That's what whales are from? Colo, are you seeing this shit?
Yeah. Whales evolved from land. It's kind of opposite. Didn't we
It's this
start
weird
off in the
fucking
ocean and
dog.
then
The
migrate to land?
Indoyus.
Yeah, they evolved from tiny little rats. I don't know if tiny. They look small, but
Big
I'm
ol'
assuming they're
rat.
not.
they're like about the size of a modern
Dude,
dog.
I love the Coochie Cetus. Great, great evolutionary stage. Look at
Oh,
his.
it's like a long otter.
He's a long otter.
They're basically it's like that first thing is like the size of like a dog. And it's insane because they evolved like into the biggest fucking creature on earth. Like imagine if like you went, I don't know, a billion years into the future and suddenly like the ancestors of your house pet like were the size of your house.
That is crazy to think about.
Just
I
every dog is Clifford.
I will say I think the coolest name that I've seen on here is the squalodon.
Done.
It looks like a swordfish, but it's not.
Yo, this dude is sick.
I like how as you're going down, so if you guys are on the Wikipedia viewers, there's pictures of them all and you can see the evolution between them. I like how at one point it's literally just a dolphin, and then it turns into just this massive ass whale.
I
Like, I
mean,
Yeah,
like
man,
how
most dolphins are big
this
men.
resulted in dolphins, and then some of the dolphins were like, "Nah, keep going," and they're like, "Whale."
Nah, nah, nah. We have to go bigger.
speaking of dolphins and what you know about orcas, right?
I know what orcas are. Like Riley said, we're both very stupid, so
Okay, so scientists have been baffled like by crossbreeds between animals, and there was a crossbreed between like a dolphin and an orca, and scientists were freaking the fuck out because they didn't know whether to classify it as a dolphin or an orca. And the main reason this is a concern is because scientists classify different species as, okay, if you can mate with this, it's the same species as you are.
Fair enough. Good. Makes
makes
sense.
sense, yeah.
And scientists were freaking out about that because it's like dolphins and orcas are obviously very different creatures.
Yeah.
Can dolphins fuck orcas?
Yes, that's what I've been saying for the past 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah, they called it a wolphin.
Yo! Well, I mean that exists in multiple different species, right? There's the wolf and there's the liger. There's a couple different examples of that,
Isn't there a
right?
Tylon
What's a
too?
Tylon? Well, that's what
Okay,
a
one's a
liger is.
lion tiger and the other's a tiger lion.
Oh, okay.
I
Sure.
I, I know
Yeah,
about
it's like one's more lion and the other one's more tiger, so they got two different names.
I know that what do you call it? Yeah, growler bears
Growler bears, yo!
Roller bears.
are the name that I personally prefer. Pisleys.
Pizzly bears.
It's a crossbreed between a polar bear and obviously.
What that is like the perfect creature. He's adapted to both cold and heat. He's so powerful.
Well, here's the thing, it's actually sad the reason this is happening. It happened in Canada, and it's mainly because like the ice up there was melting, so polar bears are being forced out of their natural habitat, and then they just,
But then they fuck grizzly bears and create the perfect being.
Did you know that like this is insane. Um ants can reproduce asexually.
Yo?
Yeah, they can just a queen can just pop out an egg, and if it's unfertilized, it'll just create a male thing. But only but if it's fertilized, it'll create a female ant.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I get it.
Speaking of ants,
So oh, I was looking at other crossbreeds, and there's one called a beefalo.
Yo!
yo,
Do you know what a beefalo is?
Is it
buffalo
a cow
and
and a buffalo?
Yes.
I have to look this up. Hold on. Yo, let's go.
A geep is is a goat and a sheep.
Geep.
A cama is a
Can we
camel and
make
a llama.
Geeps the official mascot animal of the Detour Head podcast?
Wait, hold on. I wonder if you could crossbreed a human and a monkey.
Make a mumkey, if you will.
God damn it, Riley. But of all that stuff, you guys know that, like vertebrates reach the land through their fish ancestors crawling onto it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was aware of that concept.
Apparently arthropods crawled out of the water 4 separate times.
Oh,
Like there's 4 different branches of like the tree of life or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays. And like a part of each of those branches walked out of the sea, and it happened 4 different times with.
there you go. That's a ridiculous. Just crawl out and stay out. Jesus.
And
Fucking make up
apparently,
your mind, arthropods.
and the fun thing, with back in those days, the good old days, But back in those days, the oxygen level was a lot higher in the earth, and that allowed bugs to grow up to about the size of a
Fuck. Colo, what would you do if you walked like into your kitchen and there was just like a roach the size of you?
It's not my
Just like
kitchen.
it's his kitchen now.
It's it's his kitchen now. It's not my kitchen.
No more. Yeah.
I'll walk down, see him. He'll look at me. I'll go, "I'm so sorry," and I'll go right back upstairs or leave.
You'll go
what
right back
Just
upstairs
be
and
like,
jump
"My
out the
my
window.
apologies. Wrong house."
what would you
Wrong house.
what would you do if it like started talking to you?
It
Again,
started saying
exact same
words.
thing. Just my apologies, wrong house.
What if it was friendly? What if it was like, yo, what's up, bro? Nice to meet you.
I
Oh,
imagine like I don't know why I'm imagining this, but I imagine a roach would try to sell you on some sort of Nigerian prince scandal.
Yeah, scammers. I
Would you like to invest in a roach coin?
have billions of dollars in a bank account in another country. I need your help transferring it over. Send me
Yeah,
$5,000 and that will help me somehow. And then
now
you'll get it back, plus more.
the world of like evolution and stuff. One of the things that like interests me the most is like species that evolve to fit like a very specific niche. So, do you guys that doesn't yes, that's right. The spider doesn't lay eggs in a normal way. Instead, it injects its eggs into some sort of cricket or something, and then the cricket like digs a hole and dies after it's been injected.
It digs a hole and dies. So some days I feel like doing that, you know?
um,
But but,
isn't
but it's
that because the cricket provides food for the baby spiders when they're born?
No, no,
yeah, and
no.
it's
Ah.
very disgusting. It's like
Yeah.
it's like that, alien, some alien shit. But the cricket basically loses its free will after it's been bitten by that type of spider because it doesn't try to resist. In fact, it does the work for the spider.
It does as the spider commands.
Spider just goes wooloo.
What do you think it would be like to be mind controlled? I think about this sometimes, like how would it feel? Like if you were conscious but like you could not control your own actions. Like how would that feel?
Pretty fucking bad.
I mean, you can get really, really, really close to mind control, and it's really, really accessible.
What are you
What
talking
what
about?
cell phones? Are you about to give a
Alcohol.
boomer argument? Oh, oh, okay.
You drink
Yeah.
enough, you have next to zero control. You still
So,
have
so
some control, but your brain is like
so
very.
people can basically convince you to do anything if they can convince you that it's funny enough.
Oh, basically, yeah. If it appeals to your brain, you'll do it.
Like, yo, wouldn't it be real funny if you jumped off that roof? Hell yeah, dude!
Yo, wouldn't it be funny if you robbed a bank and then gave me the money, like as a joke?
That'd be sick, bro.
Wouldn't it be
But
funny if you wore this mask and had my ID on you when you got arrested?
but like another thing is you guys know about the mind control fungus, right? You have to know.
I am
I've
vaguely
heard of it
aware of the
before,
mind
yeah.
control fungus.
The ant
I know
mind
that I know that the Pokemon Parasect is based on it.
the ant mind control fungus. Basically, when the fungal spores infect an ant, that ant will stop whatever it's doing. It will go up to it will climb a leaf and it will go to the top of it and it will bite down and it won't return to the colony. It'll just stand there until the fungus kills it and then uses its body as fertilizer. That's insane to me. Like, how does something like that even evolve?
Fucked up. It's really
Like,
fucked up, dude.
Man,
it,
evolution is crazy though. Like, and even nowadays, there's so many parallels to just like modern day evolution too. Um, like the most recent thing that's been going around is convergent evolution with Diglett and Wiglet in the new Pokemon games.
We've
What is
already
a
taken
wig?
this to the Pokemon place.
You
Wait,
It
took
what
it
only
to
is?
took
Pokemon
20
with
minutes.
Parasect, but I am relating
Wait, hold
a
on.
video game topic to our topic of choice for today.
What is a
Fair.
wiglet?
Wiglet. So, do you know what Diglett is?
I do.
Ida used to be a Pokemon
It's
fan, but
tall
she's
and
not
white.
anymore.
It's
Should I
tall and
look?
white. That's it.
Should I look this up?
The
Yes.
Wiglet is just like he's Diglett, but he's a worm. He's a long white worm.
Is this like a real thing?
Yes.
Yes, it's for the
100%.
new game.
It is a completely different species. It is not a variant of Diglett. It is a completely different species.
Colo, have you seen that meme? So apparently the lore on Wiglet is that like that it is implied that like several Pokemon, like for evolutionary purposes, have like taken on Diglett-esque traits because it's like good for their environment. So
Yeah.
there's this meme that I saw that just was like a bunch of different like Diglett variants, and they were all like silly. There's Piglet, there's a little pig Diglett. There was Biglet. He was just like a really fucking huge Diglett.
What the fuck? This is just white Diglett.
It's just long white Diglett. That's it. But it's a completely different species. So it's convergent evolution. So convergent evolution occurs when species occupy similar ecological niches and adapt in similar ways in response to similar selective pressure. Basically, these two Pokemon, convergent, came from separate ancestors, but basically are going to converge into something that's similar, something very, very similar.
So it's like the Jacholopterus, right?
Um, what was the first one?
Jacholopterus, I think that's how it's called. It's basically just like a really fucking big.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Exactly like that.
Yeah. Well, basically, the Jacholopterus and the shark just occupied similar niches, which was hunting smaller fish. Speaking of sharks and stuff, evolution has produced some weird ass sharks because the shark is probably one of the most effective predators. It's been around for a very, very long time because it works well. And one of the things that blew my fucking mind, have you seen like the coil teeth? I can send you a picture.
I think so.
Let me look it up. It's like,
Yeah. I've seen pictures of this.
yeah, the thing is, how does it get to this? Like, what are the steps to get from this? I
Are
understand
we
that.
still talking about Wiglet or
We're talking about the coiled teeth shark. Do you not have Google open so you can look things up actively as the
no,
conversation goes
no,
on?
I had to the reason I was muted is because I had to run to piss, and also breaking news, I think a house in my neighborhood is on fire or something. Because I looked
Uh,
outside my window and there's like a big old fire truck with like the hose extended and shit. So I think somebody had something unlucky occur. The coiled tooth shark, you said?
Yeah,
coiled teeth shark. Yeah.
it's just like an insane looking shark.
It looks like a shark, but its lower jaw looks like a coiled up tentacle with teeth.
I feel like I've seen this before, and even though I've seen it before, it's going to horrify me anyway. Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
I want you to imagine you're like a fish, and then like you just see this coming at you, and then the fucking teeth start to uncoil.
At that point, I would just know it's over.
I'd just be like, you know
There's
what?
no escape.
I'm gonna, you know what? That's my bad. I'm sorry. Just apologize. Be like, you know what? My
You know
bad.
what?
I don't
I'm
know what I
sorry,
did.
dude.
I don't know what I did. Clearly, you're
I
upset.
don't know what I
That's
did to
my
make
bad.
you
I'm gonna
unspool your
go.
jaw like that.
I apologize. That's my fault. I'm gonna go. Just be very polite. That's how you get out of everything. Just be very polite.
Listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill you. You just walked under
Why
the
don't you
ladder
like
at a
kill
bad time.
somebody and then their mom pulls up and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it."
Look,
I'm
my apologies. I didn't mean for this to happen. This was not my fault.
But
goodbye.
I'm gonna go. Here's my contact information. Here's my address and last four
And
digits
it's
of my
somebody
social.
else's
This is
information.
it's yours.
Yeah. The moment Colo gets caught for a crime, he's gonna be like, "My name is Riley.
My
Here's
name is
the
Riley
last
Brooks.
four."
I live down in Florida. I'm up here on vacation. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
oh, do you not have Riley's address? I can send it to you.
God, shut the fuck up, Ida.
But
I have like several people who can get me his address. It's fine.
Yeah, no. People know my address who we are in close circle proximity with. So
but
Look, it cannot be hard to find you. So
do you
no,
guys
probably pretty easy to find.
do you guys know about speculative or like basically fake evolution?
Fake evolution. Oh, like when Alamomola was introduced and we all thought it was gonna evolve from Love Disc, and then it didn't. Is that what that is?
No, I'm talking about stuff like have you guys seen All Tomorrows? It's a book.
No.
Look up All Tomorrows and you'll just be horrified. Because I have to explain the lore to you guys because this is
All
what?
tomorrow.
And then just go to images.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. This fucking guy. I'm gonna send this image. Oh, look at the other guy.
Do you
Oh,
wanna
never
do
mind. Download it as a WebP. I guess I'm not gonna send.
lore behind this shit?
It's still a WebP. What's the lore?
So basically humanity goes like in some spaceships and they start exploring the solar systems and other stars and shit, right? Well,
Huh?
eventually they come across these beings called the Q and they get into a war. The Q,
QAnon? Donald Trump?
no. They are the Q win the war, and what they do is they take all of the humans that are still left alive, and they put them in labs, and they basically mutate them into these, and then they just fucking leave.
Well, Colo, you seeing this shit? How do you feel about these all tomorrow?
I was waiting for somebody to say it again because I didn't want to ask.
Yeah, all tomorrows. Is that what it was, Ida?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's like a really fucked up story.
Just go
Oh,
to go to images, yeah.
Yeah,
interesting. This is
yeah.
like pure nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah. Imagine being fucking twisted into one of these things. Now, the worst one is the Q make these things called the Sentinels out of humans, and basically what it is, it's a living block of flesh, but it still has your brain. But you can't move, you can't do anything. You just sit there, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked up. It's like
And
it's like the Zergs and Animorphs. Anybody ever heard of Animorphs? Eh?
God,
what is
Animorphs always creep me the fuck out when I was a kid.
what are
I highly here's a YouTube video recommendation for everybody. If you're the kind of guy who's gonna sit down and watch a 3-hour YouTube video, which I feel like you've told me you've done that before, Colo. I feel like you're that kind of guy sometimes.
It depends on what it is. I did watch 28 hours of a uncut playthrough of Red Dead 2. So
there's a 3-hour Animorphs lore lecture by this guy named Tommy Oliver, and it is so sick. And it red pilled me on Animorphs, and Animorphs is based, and everybody should watch this Tommy Oliver Animorphs lecture. That's my recommendation of the day.
I watched Candace's 3-hour video on All Tomorrows.
I'm not gonna ask the question. I know what you're going for, and I'm not gonna ask it.
What question?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
mean, there's ways to ask it. but I
So
know.
commonly when the name Candace comes up, it is used in order to get somebody to ask of the origin of this person named Candace in a much more simplified manner. Um, and for the person who mentioned Candace in the first place to respond with something along the lines of Candace dick fit in your mouth.
Yeah, but see, all you have to do there is say, "What's the channel?"
What's the channel? Yeah.
Yeah, "What's the YouTube channel?" And then that would
Candace fit
immediately they'd be
in your
like,
mouth. The YouTube channel is Candace Dick Fit into Your Mouth.
I mean, either way I lose, but, like, God, I want this to be a fucking horror movie. Is there an All Tomorrow movie?
No, it's just a book. It's worth the it's worth the cost though. I really like it. It's a really good story.
Because reading is cool when you find a book that's actually good. It's just like I became like adverse to reading in school because they force you to read certain books and like they wouldn't vibe with me. But then the ones that did vibe with me, I always got super into. So I need to like get into reading more and just like find good books.
What the fuck?
What?
No.
What's wrong?
Somebody made an artistic rendering of I'll send it to you of All
Hmm?
Tomorrows.
What's wrong with that? Is somebody not allowed to express their enjoyment of the story through art?
Click the link.
This is all tomorrow furry porn. You're kicked off the podcast. That's it.
it's it's close, but it's not quite home
Where did you send it to me? In my DMs
in
or
your
in
DM.
general? In my DMs. Okay, did you send it to Colo?
Sure. Are you human?
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Thing.
Yo, this looks sick.
It looks like tentacle hentai.
Well, it looks like it might eventually lead to tentacle hentai, but the art itself is pretty sick.
It looks like tentacle hentai.
I don't know. The boy is fully armored. No nudity is occurring. It's just weird tentacle monsters, and I dig it. I dig the art.
Why do I feel like if I open your DM, it's just gonna be straight porn?
I'm
You
just
two are in
gaslighting
on this
you.
joke. You're having a very sophisticated, like, talk about this, like, yes. And then
Yes.
I click on it, and it's just awful.
It's not awful, it's just ugh.
Oh, yeah, I can see where that's going.
But it hasn't gotten there yet, and it looks
No, it
cool.
hasn't gotten there yet, but it's like 2 frames away.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It's like 2 frames away. No, I know what you're talking. I see what you're talking. Um,
This is a very Pictionary podcast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's like required reading that comes with this podcast. You have to pull up all this Google shit to understand what we're talking about.
I I can stop with that if you want me to.
I mean, how else are we going to discuss evolution without discussing specific evolutionary lines and being like, "Oh, look at that guy."
How else are we gonna discover, talk about evolution without the tentacle hentai?
Yeah, it's very important to our conversation about evolution. Paula, what's your
Evol
favorite tentacle hentai? He's thinking really hard about it. There's a lot to choose from.
I'm going through the list trying to figure out which one I want
Yeah,
to let everybody know
Colo's
about.
a real tentacle hentai connoisseur. He really he has to make sure he answers wisely here. What about you, Ida? What's your favorite tentacle hentai?
I don't watch hentai.
That's a good
Uh, my
answer.
my favorite
Good
my
answer,
favorite
good answer.
tentacle my favorite tentacle hentai is that one joke from the Pokemon Adventures manga where you don't see anything obviously because it's the fucking Pokemon Adventures manga. But there is a manga frame where they're reading a newspaper and like one of the news headlines is like why I love taking baths with my tentacruel.
Uh, anyway, so specifically, there's also something else I wanted to talk about. You guys know about the evolution?
We came from monkey and we must return to monkey.
Well, here's the thing. We did come from monkey. Our closest living relative is the chimpanzee, right? So, why did you guys know that we're closer to the chimpanzee than the chimpanzee is closer to the gorilla?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
chimpanzees are very, very interesting creatures. They are about
yeah, that one that ate a lady's face. Pretty interesting.
they're about 3 times. But you guys, another ancestor. Well, not really. It's not even an ancestor. You guys know about the Neanderthals because the Neanderthals were not, though they are our ancestors, but they
I
weren't
know about a Neanderthal. Her name is Demi Gloom. If you know what I'm saying, brother. Hey, fuck you, Demi Gloom.
what I was saying was that Neanderthals actually split off from us. So Neanderthals came from Homo sapiens. Neanderthals were the original sapien residents of Europe. So Neanderthals were in Europe, and when Africa started to get hotter, humans started to migrate up towards Europe to escape the harsh climate, which is where we re-encountered the Neanderthals. The Neanderthals were actually um had the same intelligence as any human would have at the time. So they weren't really dumber than us. But the
They were just a
interesting
separate species classification because we had evolved further.
not the
Or just
Neander
we had evolved in general and become I'm not saying we got better or anything. I'm just saying that like we had evolved in a different way that classified us separately.
I mean, yes. They were about 3 times as short as humans are today, but they were also about 3 times as strong.
I bet Hartsy Protsy wishes Neanderthals were still around. You know what I'm saying?
The joke
Come
was,
on, you called Ida short. You called Hartsy short last episode. I thought you'd find that funny. Damn it, Ida.
"Riley,
Yeah.
yo mama."
Fuck.
But, the Neanderthals were interesting because they were about 3 times as strong, which means that a Neanderthal woman, probably a little bit stronger than the average.
Oh, based.
Why hasn't Koichi
I got distracted by
He doesn't find
Twitter.
us funny.
I got distracted by Twitter. That's my bad.
Fair
Um,
enough.
no, I was getting distracted. That's the whole point of the podcast is you get to get
You got
distracted.
distracted. Usually, we're supposed to get distracted with conversation about something other than the topic rather than get distracted by Twitter and not talk at all. But I suppose it's still technically on brand.
Look, I'm distracted by the mob vote for Minecraft.
Ooh,
Wait,
what's the
wait, the
mob vote?
entire
What's the
thing
mob vote?
wait, wait, wait,
Who's up on the docket?
wait, the entire thing with this podcast is you're supposed to not go off track?
The
No,
whole
no.
point of the
The whole point
podcast
is
is
we
we
do
pick a
go on
topic to
track.
talk about, and then if we go off topic due to me being on Twitter during a podcast like I'm not supposed to,
It's cool. It's
or
fun.
things getting looked up outside of that, it's fine. We usually just let it go. It's basically like, yeah,
That's
that's the
why it's
whole
called
point.
Detour Ahead. Is like different conversations can evolve from tangents, and we don't try to kill them as hard as we do on like our regular shows. Like the tangents are part of it.
Yeah,
Are you gonna
Right.
make a math joke? Is that where this is going? That's what you did to me earlier.
if we get off topic, it's a good sign.
If we get off topic, that means we're having fun.
You had to do something with cosine, idiot.
What about cosine?
Because you brought up tangent, so I said it's a good sign, and then
Fuck!
somebody else had to say something about cosine.
Fuck!
Idiot, you ruined
I don't know
it.
math. I'm sorry.
I guess you could say, I guess you could say we went on a inverse tangent. That doesn't make
Fuck.
Look, with the Mario movie coming out, because there's an ad here, and Mario has been on my mind. We're one live action CGI movie away from Nintendo getting a Smash Bros movie. The NCU is going to happen at some point.
well,
What's the one movie we have to get? The Zelda movie?
did you see,
Either Zelda or Kirby.
did you guys see how
What about Metroid?
did you guys see who's making the Mario movie?
Who?
It's probably, like, the most hated animation studio.
Oh, Illumination.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah,
think
the
they're
movie looks a
necessarily
little rough,
hated. Like they
but
made the Minions or whatever, and people don't like the Minions. But Illumination, for all their flaws, they've made first of all a lot of money, and second of all, I think a lot of movies that are beloved by children, whether they're beloved by us or not, remains to be seen. I mean, if I remember correctly, the Minions movie that just came out was not too bad. It was consumable. Me and Inside Zoidberg reviewed it when it came out, and it it was all right.
You
And then there
had
was the
bad taste.
wait, he's
Lorax
real?
movie, and everybody wanted to fuck the Onceler. It was
It-
great.
Okay,
Belly Bolt is real. Oh my god. Okay, so on Twitter, I keep seeing this post of the squishy electric frog that looks like Chansey,
Yeah, and it's real. Did you not
and it's real.
realize?
I just went on Cerebi, so it's real. I never saw the reveal trailer for it
You refuse to believe something is real until you see it on Cerebi.
because Cerebi works with the Pokemon
J-
Center
Joe
and
Merrick
gets things
himself has to
released.
decree.
Joe
His
American.
name is Belly Bolt. Oh my god, I love him. He's so squishy.
Joe Merrick Ida is the guy who runs Cerebi.com, which is a Pokemon like news and database site.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
squishy.
Joe Merrick himself must declare it before Colo believes.
I
Has to
would have
come to
believed it if I knew that the reveal trailer got dropped, but I didn't know
Joseph
about it.
Merrick.
So
So speaking of like evolution and stuff, can I talk about
Whoa,
how
wait. I didn't think we were speaking about that at all for the last
well
15 minutes. That was a
well
bad transition.
well yeah, but I just wanted to say speaking of like evolution and Pokemon, can I talk about how much I fucking hate
What?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Real
100%.
quick, real
Go
quick,
ahead. No,
Colo
no,
too.
no, 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 no. Speak. Speak. Why do you hate Pokemon?
the first few games were all right, you know? There's nothing offensive in there but almost every fucking game after that seems like they copy and pasted it and fucking phoned it in. It feels like
You're just playing it reskinned, basically. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Not true. They're all different. They all introduce vibrant new species into the mix. They all give you new worlds to explore. Just because the game mechanics are similar, that's the case in like every fucking video game series in the world. I hate this fucking argument. Fuck you.
they should experiment with video game mechanics.
They did experiment. It's called Legends Arceus and it went really well, so they're using elements of that in the new game. They are experimenting, they are learning. It finally happened. But the games they made before that were still great.
But it feels you can't just recycle the same mechanics because that's just the same gameplay.
Yeah, but that's been
You ever
Pokemon
played
for
any
25 years though.
RPG series ever?
A lot of RPGs have unique mechanics. Like, for example, do you guys know a Brutal Orchestra?
Not familiar.
It's an RPG game. It's not very popular to know about this. With that, you're able to gather mana and attack, and you gather the mana in different ways. You can gather some mana from attacking enemies. You can gather some mana, and I can't really explain it, but it's a very unique.
I'll have to check it out. Sounds interesting.
It's very good.
But no, you're wrong about Pokemon. I just want to say, Colo, for the record, this is the bad ending, is what we're seeing right here. Because Ida used to be just as devoted of a Pokemon fan as the rest of us. Me and Ida met in the same like Twitch chats where me and Brad and me and Andrew met. We were all part of the same like Pokemon Twitch streamer culture. Her name used to be King Lilligan, and we all used to be big Pokemon fans. But she fell from grace. It's truly tragic. Shut the fuck up.
But no,
Pokemon.
it
God
just feels
damn it.
like there's nothing really unique. I mean, my favorite genre of games, I guess you could say, probably like probably like roguelikes. And you know,
Interesting.
those those employ a system where each run of a roguelike can feel completely different, and that's why Pokemon feels like it feels like I'm playing no matter what game I go to.
Well, that's just personal preference then. If all the video games that you play are roguelikes, and then every other video game in comparison, it's like, oh, it's the same world every time I play it. What the fuck, dude?
But it feels the same between games.
Is Binding of Isaac a roguelike, or is it the same
Yeah,
every time?
Binding
I
of
haven't
Isaac
played it
is a
enough.
roguelike, and it's very good, and you should get it, and it's
Listen, I know
It's
my
a great time waster. It's
I know
so addictive.
I know my close personal friend Florian Himsel made it, so perhaps I'll have to check it out.
Close personal friend, huh?
Listen,
didn't you ac
I'm on Florian streams all the time for real, okay? It's real. Me and Florian are
Close
friends.
didn't you
personal
actually
friend.
have didn't you actually have Florian?
We did have him
Yes,
on Pixels, yes.
we had him on Pixels, and I've been on his live streams. That basically makes us friends. And I think Florian has said he's like willing to guest on Issue Crew, so I'm sure that'll happen at some point. Everybody's got to buy his new game, Ball Frog, better than Binding of Isaac.
Is that the actual sub?
No, it's just the game is just Ball Frog, and it's this like getting over it,
Yeah.
like that platform game with like this like complicated controls, but that's part of the charm. Florian basically made that, but you're a big fat frog, and you swing around with your tongue, and it's fun. It's cool. I'm awful at it, and I can't get past the first screen, but that's just because I'm a stupid, dumb, mouth breathing idiot. It's really cool. We got to do, and there's online multiplayer too. We got to do Issue Crew gaming video, Ball Frog. I got to put that in the suggestions.
You know,
What?
we should do T
You keep saying that, Ida. you
that's
you keep you keep starting to pitch it as if you're about to give us a new idea, and then just say TF2 for the 17th time.
that's because I really wanna play TF2.
Have you ever played TF2, Colo? Colochi, stop scrolling through Twitter.
Great
I'm not on
response.
Twitter.
Colochi, wake up.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm up.
What are you doing?
We asked you a question.
What was the question?
The question is, have you ever played TF2?
No.
Okay, neither have I. Get fucked, Ida.
Well, you should. It's, like, free and very good.
Maybe.
It's, like, not even a maybe, it's just good.
I'm not saying maybe it's good. I'm saying maybe I'll play it.
You will play it.
Okay, Ida. Well, we'll see. So,
So,
we talk about Darwin's finches. That's what I know about evolution. He
Oh.
found some finches. They had different beaks,
Yeah, speaking of Darwin, did you know that he was, like, a massive racist?
based in red pill.
His original book on evolution was very, very racist. It's just that modern publishers cut out all the racist parts. But basically, he thought that black people.
Why? I don't understand why people thought that genuinely. Like, what about them would constitute such a thought?
I
They're
don't know.
literally superior. They're just us, but they can't get sunburned. They're literally superior.
I
They're the peak of
okay.
humanity. The top 10 races.
how's that hole you're digging? Need some help?
I'm saying that black people are the best. That's the opposite of a hole. People are gonna love this.
It's just like I'm not gonna touch on this because I'm not gonna cancel myself.
Ida, I don't think Colo realizes this because he doesn't watch any of my content. This is far from digging a hole compared to the shit that we do. I feel like every episode of Issue Crew, or not Issue Crew, Issue Crew have been pretty good so far, except for a few things. But like every episode of Largest Issue, we had to talk about like either Hitler or women or like just something awful.
Like women,
I
you
meant that
just
we make jokes about women being awful, just as Ida did at this particular moment. Ida's a
no,
woman
you were
now.
the one who said that. You just said
Ida has the misogyny pass because she's a woman.
evolution in Darwin's finches. Yeah, that was found a bunch of finches on an island. They were all different, and they were the only. No. Oh, yada
Ida,
yada
you're
yada.
covering your mic again.
You're covering your mic,
That's not true. That's not true.
Walter.
Walter, you're covering your mic, Walter.
You're covering your me.
Walter, take your dick out, Walter. We're gonna have sex right now, Walter.
To anybody who hasn't watched Breaking Bad, we just seem insane.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a funny voice, and he's talking to a guy named Walter, but he says Walter. and they're gonna have sex. That's the meme. Walter.
What would you say the best? What's your favorite game?
My favorite video game?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Sonic
Pokemon
06.
Crystal.
What an absolute power move. What's
Sonic
your favorite
06,
video
best
game?
game.
Oh, Pokemon. No, it's not. Damn, that's like the ultimate power move. You ask someone what's their favorite whatever, they're like, "Oh, I really love this." You're like, "No, you don't."
Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal are just so vibrant and full of life, and like they had a lot of like love and care put into them, which made sense because Gold and Silver at least were created to be the last Pokemon games, but then they realized the massive consistent cash cow they had on their hands, and that did not end up happening. But Gold and Silver were designed with being the last Pokemon games in mind, so there was a lot of like love and care put into them, and they're just very very good games, and they're my favorite.
honestly, I have a hard time. It's like tied between three different games, and those games are usually The Binding of Isaac, which is an RPG.
Wait, what's the third one? You said there were three.
The third one is like usually whatever game I've played last.
Fair, fair enough. I had Jason tell me about Lisa the Painful once. I think it was when we did the media that made us cry episode. He was talking about something in Lisa the Painful. The episode that almost never came out because Jason just said Jason just like lied about the audio being fucked up. And then I was like, "Are you sure?" And then I got the audio, and then he was like, "I'm not editing that." So then I edited it. And that's the only reason the world can hear it now.
Is somebody editing?
This is Demi edits this.
Is that why you said "fuck Demi" like multiple times?
Yes. I only said fuck Demi once. I said fuck Demi and I called Heartsy short. I'm just like going through my list of friends and saying mean things about them.
Oh,
Andrew has dumb hair.
do me.
Ida is I don't know. Give me a minute. I gotta think about this. You're a bit killer, Ida. That's my criticism of you. Is we're doing silly shit on the podcast and you're always like, aren't we supposed to be talking about memes or like whatever the topic is? Like we're having some like great hilarious bit and we're all having a good time and laughing, and she's just like, all right guys, we gotta talk about bananas or whatever the shit.
I'm a programmer. Calling me a big killer is good.
Hey! Ba-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da!
What about Colo?
What's something else I can say about my friends? Colo Chew? Here's what I can say about Colo Chew, and we can have
Oh,
this
I'm gonna stop
conversation.
you right there. The basic white girl-esque
Yeah,
attitude that
yeah.
I portray all the time, every day,
Yes, you have basic white girl energy.
I still don't understand.
you just you just feel like a basic white girl, which is why it was shocking to hear that you don't have Netflix.
I don't understand. You need cite your sources.
Source, bro? Dude, source? Gingy? His Elmo impression? Not that funny. not 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 particularly entertaining.
Could I hear the backstory of that friend you have that, what was it?
No.
Apparently he did
No.
some really bad
you,
stuff, and I
you
don't
can't
remember
hear that. I'm not on this show.
why not.
I don't want to talk about old drama on this fucking podcast.
I
We're here
do.
to talk about evolution. You know about the vampire finch? He's pretty cool.
What's
He
the
sucks
vamp?
your blood. He's the vampire finch. Yes, and now we can't hear you at all. Did you leave the room?
No.
Ida, get a fucking goddamn. Ida, I'm sure you could have guessed this Kolochu based on her audio quality. Ida literally uses her fucking inbuilt laptop mic, and we cannot convince her to purchase a mic.
Buy a microphone.
No.
Microphones are nice.
If you're gonna use your inbuilt laptop mic, you at least have to have the fucking mental fortitude to figure out where the mic input is and make sure it's not obstructed by anything. Silly person. You wacky human being. We never got Kolo's answer for his favorite video game.
Pokemon.
But which one?
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Specifically Emerald if you're gonna make me choose. I know.
Second worst gen.
That word means nothing to me anymore.
What,
That's
gay?
not an insult, it's a fact. It's like me calling you fat. It's the equivalent.
Fuck you! You motherfucker.
You went down this hole,
I know.
and I
It's
came
my
bearing a
fault.
shotgun ready to fight.
Well, you know what, Colo? I came down your mom's
Colu,
hole with my
Colo,
shotgun,
Kilo.
so.
Am I gonna add
Okay, wait,
Colu to my list of names that I go by
Colu.
now? Colu,
Colo
Ulu,
Cho.
Owo, Kiwo, Kiwi. There's
Kiwi
so many.
Chew.
wait,
Kiwi
Colo,
Chew, Kolo Chew, Kowo Chew. There's so many.
Colo.
What? Are you gay?
It's a question I've been asking for years.
Well, you're not. You're like bi, right? You go both ways, swing both sides of the fence.
It's like 60-40. I'll let you figure out
In
what
favor of
sides.
men.
I'll let you imagine what sides.
I mean, I've never heard of you having a boyfriend, and I did know you while you verifiably had a girlfriend. So my assumption would be it leans towards female, but I don't know.
I don't either. It's like 50-50.
You know it's a
I don't know.
60-40 split, but you don't know which is which.
No, honestly, it really just depends on the day. It changes. So it's like a 50-50.
I hate women, so
It
isn't that also the reason Jason is gay?
might be. Paula, what's your opinion on women?
Women?
Women are great.
Okay.
Wrong.
Cope. Copium.
What about you?
How
Ryan?
do you feel about incels, Cola? You'd ask you a follow up.
I'm not answering that.
What do you mean? How do you feel about incels? What's your opinion on the incel problem?
There is no incel problem.
Fair enough. Sure.
Riley, I feel like Riley would.
Am I not already an incel? Do I lose my incel card because I'm 6'3"? Okay.
Your 6 foot doesn't count though.
Just because I'm fat doesn't mean my height doesn't count. Fuck
No,
off.
your height doesn't count.
I'm 6'3" though, so even if I wasn't fat, I'd probably be like 6'1", which is still super tall.
That's not how height works.
What? Well, then how is my fatness happen at all? How
It's
does it
not
have
a
anything
nice
to do with it?
6'3". It's not a nice 6'3".
Fuck you. Die in Minecraft. I hope you die in Minecraft survival and you drop all of your diamonds, Cola. You motherfucker. God damn it. So I remember I was to get back onto vampire finches for a second. I remember that was like the moment in high school where like I became engaged in the evolution lesson. I was just like, what the fuck? This finch out here drinking blood and shit. It was super cool. He just got a fucking sharp ass beak and he'll suck your blood. He's a little vampire finch.
Like from
Oh,
other
Ida, your mic is unreasonably bad right now. You gotta figure out why.
So I know Marrow is.
For the vampire finch, I'd assume.
No, but for
I mean, I imagine it comes with some level of nutrition.
Not really.
At the very least, it tastes good when it comes to like steak.
vampire
Ida.
fishes, it must come with some level as vampire
Nutringen.
nutrition, otherwise
Well, vampire finches, I assume, work differently than humans.
yes, but there must be some level.
Fair enough. I guess we should all start drinking blood. Good idea. Nah, I just like me a nice bloody steak. Get that medium rare.
Specifically,
I do have a lot of it to spare. It's true. All right, well, Ida's mic issue seems to be unfixable, and we're at like an hour and 5 minutes. So maybe we should just quit while we're ahead.
No, it seems like a good time to wrap it up.
All right, gamers. Thank you all for listening to Detour Ahead. Ida, you have nothing to plug, correct? Hey! Da-da-da-da. So I guess if you want to hear more of Ida, the best place to go is the Issue Crew channel, which I guess I will put in place of her guest link because it's literally the only thing she does on the internet is do my podcast. So I guess that'll go where her link would be. And it'll probably also be in my links. So That's fine. That happened on the Jason episode too with his channel because he was the editor back then. So there'll be two beautiful links to the issue crew for you to click. You can hear more of me. You can hear more of Ida. Ida had the funniest line on last week's episode. It was beautiful.
Wait, what did I say?
We were having a whole conversation about height, and our co-host Hartsy Protsy, who's 5'5", was like lamenting his height and like how small he was and like how it ruined his life. And then Ida was like, "Hey Hartsy, I just realized something. You're really short." It's so funny. So that's the kind of comedy you can expect over on the Issue Crew podcast. Kolochi, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Twitter as Colachu54, and you can find me on YouTube as Colachu.
Hell yeah. You can find me in all sorts of places. The main hub is anchor.fm/Riely Megafeed. Not really an active podcast feed anymore, but there are years of podcasts for you to go and listen to for your ears if you're looking for Riely podcast content. And the links in the description of the feed is everything that I do and all of my social medias and all that garbage. So check it out. All right, gamers. I thank you for listening to another rousing episode of Detour Ahead, and we'll see you next time. Did we do the name thing on this show? for Detour Ahead, I've been I've been Colo. What the fuck? I've been Riely.
I've been Kowu.
And I've been Riely.
Damn it. Foiled again.